living in the country as a gay couple.
Yeah.
So I spend like maybe 50% of my day living in London, wishing I lived in the Cotswolds. Like, oh God, I've been here for 13 years, so I'm like, old hag now. But I do think like, fuck, I would love to just like have some green space, some quiet, be able to sleep with the stars outside, like all that sort of thing. So what's the reality of that?
You wouldn't. Like, you wouldn't want to go from living in London to doing that, I don't think.
Why? What didn't you like about it?
I think so. There were elements of it that I loved, and I think maybe I lie to myself or to my audience when I say that I'll go back and do that again, because I don't think I will. But I think it's like tiresome doing the same thing over and over again. Like living in a city, any city, whether it's like London, Manchester, you obviously have a lot of like opportunities and availability to do different things and to be more versatile. Whereas honestly, where we lived before, all we could do was like go into Bath and get a coffee and mooch around the shops, or like go and get fish and chips. Like there was nothing really going on. So as like a young gay man, I say young. I always say young, and then I'm like, I'm not that young anymore.
No, you're very young.
Thanks. That
28.
was just, I wanted some validation.
You look very young. You are very young. You're very talented.
Thanks. Amazing.
I'll write it all down.
Yeah, I think it was just like boring. I think we hadn't experienced like life to the fullest, and I think the last couple of months since living in London have definitely been the most fulfilling we've ever had
Mm,
in the last 10 years of our relationship. Like we've done a lot more, we've seen a lot more, we've experienced really different things, and we never would have had that just living in the countryside.
mm.
And I think you can, I don't know, I think it's nicer to go on holiday out of the city,
Yeah.
live in the city. That would always be what I would suggest to people.
Yeah, right. So what was it like being gay though, living in like a sort of yummy mummy land? Like what's that like?
I think you are almost like glorified or glamorized
Okay.
living in that environment. Like it wasn't probably very different to how it would have been like 20, 30 years ago. I didn't experience homophobia, like, or not outwardly anyway. I think a lot of the women who live in the village kind of see you as like the token gay person, because there normally is only one
Yeah.
gay couple who
Mm,
live in a small village.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was nice, but also quite insular. We didn't have friends nearby. All of our friends live in London.
Mm,
So that even in Bristol or Bath, which were the two nearest cities, we had like maybe 2 or 3 friends, and that was it. So that was kind of how life looked. It was just traveling into London for social events and then going back and basically sleeping
mm,
at our cottage.
yeah.
So yeah, it was just slow. It
Right.
was like, it kind of was what I say it is online. Like, that's not a lie. A lot of what I talk about is like calming and cozy and slow and like having a warm space, which is exactly what it was. But I think we needed something that had more energy.
Mm. And that's what you feel like you've got.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we were like in our 60s, in our 20s,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And now we're in our 20s, in our 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm excited for you. Like, honestly, I think that you guys are gonna have a lot of fun,
Thank you.
and I will be here if you need to get suggestions.
Yeah, please send me a list.
Well, if you want your eyes opening, you should go.